Hey guys, Dr. J here. Today we'll take a look at the Flamelurker boss. As usual, I'll show you how to defeat him with both a melee weapon as well as a ranged one. The Flamelurker is a fairly difficult boss. There is a way to easily kill him by using ranged attacks, but if you're using a melee build, you need to fight him fair and square. Because of that, we'll need to prepare a little bit for this fight. As you can imagine, the Flamelurker will mostly be doing fire damage, so it's a good idea to equip the Ring of Flame Resistance. If you can wield it, the purple flame shield will also help a lot. If you don't have the stats for it, however, the Dark Heater Shield +2 you can find in World 2-2 will be good enough for this fight. We'll also need a weapon that can do magic damage. I'm using the Crescent Falchion +1 that you can find in World 4-1, but if you have a couple of units of sticky white stuff, that would be even better. That's it as far as preparations are concerned. Let's watch the cutscene and start the boss fight. The Flamelurker is very quick and really likes to jump around. We will mostly be trying to block his attacks and then move behind him and hit him a few times with our weapon. Thanks to our Ring of Flame Resistance and Purple Flame Shield, most of his attacks will do only negligible damage. And thankfully, he'll rarely try to hit us more than once. But he also does have a very strong attack that will hurt quite badly if we don't avoid it. There is a bit of a wind-up time, so it's not too difficult to get out of its blast radius. But as long as you keep your shield up, you'll be able to block most of its damage anyway. The most important thing for this fight is to be patient. As long as you don't take any risks and only attack from behind him, you will be able to take him down without too much trouble. It's also a good idea to keep using health restoratives whenever your HP drops below 2/3. None of his attacks should be able to one-shot you, but his most powerful one can get pretty close to doing that. So it's best if you don't take any chances. Something I should have mentioned at the start is that after you block his attacks and start moving to his back, you should do it counterclockwise, since he mostly attacks with his right hand. So circling him from his left side is much safer and easier. And the final thing I need to tell you about this boss is that after he drops below half health, he'll get much more aggressive, and he also starts to chain his attacks. So it's even more important to keep your health up. I was a bit late getting my shield up this time. Thankfully, I had enough time to heal before his next attack. And this is why we should always keep our health up. There was nothing we could do in this case. When he starts chaining his attacks, his second one will most likely hit you before you're able to recover. Nice, we managed to get a good combo in. The positive about him starting to chain his attacks is that it will also leave him vulnerable for longer if we manage to avoid his first attack. But if we don't manage to avoid it, it can become pretty scary. Thankfully we blocked all three of his attacks, but we still took quite a bit of damage. Anyway, now more than ever, we should be patient and only attack when there is a good opportunity to do so. It looks like he's also pretty scared and tries to keep us at a distance. Needless to say, if you're good enough to dodge his attacks, then the fight becomes so much easier. Just a bit more left. At this point you're probably used to his attack pattern, so it should be easy to finish him off, as long as you don't get complacent. And there you have it, the Flamelurker boss killed with a melee weapon. Next I'll show you how to kill him with magic. I'll use footage from my walkthrough again. Okay, so there's very little we need to do in terms of preparations. We just need the Soul Arrow or Soul Ray memorized, and that's it. The Flamelurker is very weak to magic, so we won't need neither the fragrant ring nor a fresh spice. Because of his mobility, the Flamelurker is very difficult to kill by a ranged character, which is why we're gonna have to abuse his pathfinding and get him stuck in a place where we could just keep firing spells or arrows at him. There is a fairly easy and consistent way of getting him stuck. First, we'll need to go right and stand near a giant ribcage. We'll need to wait here until he gets close to us, and then we'll need to run past him and get on the other side of this spinal column. Once we get him there, he'll just keep running at us, trying to reach us. So all we need to do is keep casting our spells or firing off arrows until he eventually gets unstuck. Once this happens, there is a chance he'll get stuck again if we keep to the right of the spinal column. But even if he doesn't, we can just repeat what we did in the beginning to get him stuck again. And that's it. Just keep in mind that you may have to release the lock-on and aim manually, since it's likely your spells or arrows will hit the obstacle instead of the boss. And yes, you can use a bow to kill the Flamelurker this way, but you have to bring a lot of arrows, since he's fairly resistant to physical damage. If you have holy arrows, that won't be a problem of course, since they deal magic damage. Okay, this is how you can get the Flamelurker stuck again if he's still on the other side of the spinal column. And he's dead now. Again, you kinda need to use this method if you want to kill him with a ranged build. Otherwise, it's pretty darn difficult to find enough time to use spells or shoot arrows, considering how fast he is. Okay, well, that's all I wanted to say about this boss. Next time I'll show you how to kill the final boss in World 2, the Dragon God. If the video was helpful to you, I would appreciate it if you press the like button and subscribe to my channel. And of course, I'd love to hear your thoughts about this boss fight. What do you guys think about the difficulty of this fight compared to the other bosses? Well, that was it from me, so goodbye and see you next time.